Salute to all the Patreon members, all the subscribers, all the viewers, all the new viewers. I want to thank you guys for your support and your contributions made to the platform. It really means a lot to me. If you don't know me, I go by Splash Wave Beats, Splash for short, and I've either been living or traveling abroad for the last 15 years. All right. If you guys want to do me a favor, check out the links in the description box below for the Facebook page and the Patreon page. Some good stuff over there. This article right here is brought to you by the New York Post. All right, so body of mom who was unalive during Brazilian butt lift surgery, missing parts of brain, heart, and lungs. All right. So, but this didn't happen in South America anywhere. This didn't happen in Brazil. And guys, excuse me for this image over here. I tried to refresh the page. I tried to see if I could X this article out. It won't. So I guess this guy had a hair transfer, a hairline or hair transfer on his head. And I know it's kind of a weird, disturbing image on the right, but just ignore it. So this woman is actually from the UK. All right. She's a mother of two, 38 years old. And for her 38th birthday, she wanted a BBL. So where did she go? She went to Turkey. And things just went wrong. Okay. These are her two kids. I know their faces are blurred as they should because I'm pretty sure they're under the age of 18, but she was a mother of two in the UK. I'm pretty sure she was a single mother, right? And the UK, outside of the South in America, in different parts of South America and Africa, and you can even add in the Caribbean islands as well. You know, these other regions around the world, these other countries, hell, whole continents are not even known for women to have a large rear end. You know, that's really in small parts of the world. All right. Very specific parts of the world. And, you know, I wasn't aware that, you know, people, well, I wouldn't say people wouldn't be getting this procedure in the UK, but, you know, I don't know the statistics, but I thought, you know, people in Europe, they kind of just accepted that, hey, you know, we just don't have it like that and we're fine with it. But apparently women do want this procedure done. They want BBLs over in Europe too, following Western society and, you know, the trans community, because people who are trans, you know, they get BBLs, right? But women, it's like, I've heard that a lot of women today, women that were born women, they're trying to, people kind of make the argument saying that they're trying to keep up with trans, you know, fashion and stuff like that. So, but anyways, a British mom died while undergoing BBL lift surgery from a Turkish clinic. This woman went to Turkey. And the family described it as a pop-up butcher shop. And to add to the horror, her body was found to be missing parts of several vital organs after her death. I don't know if it's clear or not. They're saying pieces of her organs were missing. So I don't know if they took the entire organ or just pieces of it were taken. So I'm guessing that pieces were taken then it's not usable, or maybe a piece of this organ, but the rest of the entire organ was taken. It's not really clear, right? So in the beginning, the original caption of this video was organ harvesting, and I had to change it because it doesn't mention that in the article, but what they're saying in the article was that pieces of her organs were missing. So I don't know if they mean by, like, you know, they cut the organ in half and left the other half in the body, or when they say pieces, they're saying like, okay, out of all the organs in the body, they took this piece, that piece, like the whole organ. I'm not sure. So for the video's sake, I just had to change it. So this woman's name is Kaydell Brown. Had just, I just mentioned, celebrated 38th birthday, went to Turkey. And I know Turkey is known for the hair transplants, the hair transformation, hair restoration and teeth, right? Getting, what do you call that? Getting veneers. And I advise, everyone out there, don't get veneers. I know a guy personally who got veneers, and like he has to get heart surgery, but for his heart surgery, they have to take his teeth out because something with the nerves connecting to the veneers, and in order to it's real weird. Like they said they had to take his teeth out in order to perform heart surgery. I don't know. And then I'm seeing a lot of people, rest in peace to Beat King. Beat King, he was a producer / rapper who was out here, known in the Houston area. He passed away not too long ago. Like a couple weeks ago, or maybe a couple months ago, he had gotten veneers, and like a couple weeks or months ago, I guess he bit into a piece of food and his teeth fell out. And you see a lot of people with veneers, their teeth fall out. So Turkey, they give Turkey the credit for quote unquote good work at a cheaper price, but it's like the only thing that I've seen that was somewhat thorough was the hair restoration, the hair transfer. Veneers, I don't think that's the work of just Turkey. I think if you get veneers anywhere in the world, there's a possibility it could fall out. BBLs, I didn't know Turkey was known for BBLs. Maybe it was just closer and cheaper for her. I mentioned this before, and my condolences, but my mother always told me you get what you pay for. And just because people are going to Turkey to get a BBL doesn't mean that, at that cheap price, they don't do good work, because somebody can do good work. And it's a possibility anytime you go under the knife, you could lose your life. It doesn't matter what the procedure is. Okay. But this goes far beyond just going under the knife, anesthesia, and procedure. There's organs missing. Okay. So her sister went over to Turkey to investigate. Let me see. So she underwent an intense 3-part cosmetic procedure that included a tummy tuck, liposuction, and the BBL. So this is, I think I have to change the video title again. This is the same thing, the same procedure. I think this is a mommy makeover. I believe this was the same procedure this woman went under that comedian DC Young Fly's wife went under. All right. I think it was a mommy procedure, and the mommy makeover procedure, and the news, it went down a list of the things that were done. And they said, this is very, very hard on the body. You're not supposed to get all this done at one time. You're supposed to do it like one at a time and wait. And so you shouldn't do it all at once. It should be like, if you have the money for it, it's like go in, do one procedure 1 year, go to next year, do a different procedure, then the next year do a different procedure, right? Her grieving sister, Leanne, so I guess Leanne went over to Turkey to investigate. She said 3 people walked in and said, "You can come with us, please." Leanne, who was scheduled to have the same surgery during that fateful trip. Oh, so her sister went with her. My apologies. Leanne, who was scheduled to have the same surgery during that fateful trip, recalled of the harrowing moment she was pulled from the waiting room. Okay, this is Kaydell Brown right here. They took me to a room and they just started they just started trying to say, there's complications with surgery. Things can happen. And I said, has my sister died? And he just said, I'm sorry, but yeah. Okay. So you're supposed to go in doing the same procedure your sister did. I guess it was one at a time instead of both at the same time. I guess they just wanted that one doctor to perform on the both of them. Clinic officials told Leanne that Brown had died in the recovery room following the procedure. Staff claimed they were unable to wake up the mother of two. They theorized some fat had traveled to her lungs. But that's not, I don't know. Leanne was in deep shock, but was refused access to Brown's body, right? This is very telling right here. What's going on in Turkey? Why didn't they put the name of this clinic out there? Instead, the staff handed her a 5,400 pound or $7,030 refund, booked her a flight home, and ushered her quickly out of the country. Right? So it's like, hey, we're sorry your sister died. Like, you're in the waiting room waiting for your turn after your sister has her procedure done. And they come to you. They're not being direct, and you just have to kind of pull it out of them and say, hey, did my sister pass? They say, yeah, here's your refund. Here's your refund. Here's the money your sister paid. Here's a flight. Bye, take care. Nah, this... And see, the thing is, it's like, this is the same thing. Not only just men, but when women travel abroad, also, right? When anybody of any gender travels abroad and something happens to you, it's like, since it's from a different country, it's a lot harder to, hire an investigator, hire lawyers, and travel back and forth to receive justice. They just gave me an envelope and said, here's your money back, and here's your sister's money back, and here's your flight. It's like, sorry, she's dead. Here's your plane ticket, she said. That is crazy, right? Brown's body was missing part of her brain, heart, and lungs when it was returned to the UK, her family claimed. Now, was it missing because fat had traveled up to those areas and they were trying to carve it out, or, did they purposely just try to take her organs? When you go in and you're paying, they're your best friends. But when something goes wrong, you're left to yourself. It's goodbye. When Brown's body was flown to the UK, a devastating discovery was made. A large part of her brain, lungs, and heart were missing, according to the report. Also missing were pieces of Brown's intestines, which could have pointed to the mother of two's cause of death. They sent a death certificate saying no cause of death. How can they not find anything? And here's the thing. If they had to carve out, let's say this woman did wake up, right? And it's like part of her brain, part of her heart, and her lungs were missing. Would they have told her, oh, Miss Brown, Miss Brown, we're going to take you to this recovery room for a little while. Then your sister's going to come in. Here's some water. Here's a bed. Just lie there. Were they even going to tell her, has she awakened up? I don't know. They sent a death certificate saying no cause of death. How can they not find anything? Leanne said. This is her family. During the autopsy, they found out it was removed. No evidence of organ trauma was found. We have handed the body untouched to the coroner's office in Turkey, A spokesperson said the UK government confirmed it was in communication with the Turkish government, but could not confirm whether Brown was missing major portions of her organs when she was transported back to her home country. Our sympathies are well with the family of Kaydell Brown, a spokesperson told the Post. We urge anyone considering a cosmetic procedure abroad to research the treatment in question, the qualifications of the clinician and the regulations that apply in the country they are traveling to. Now, here's some interesting information. BBLs have the highest mortality rate of all cosmetic surgeries, with more than one death occurring per 4,000 procedures. Man, like, and if you look up the amount of women who are unalived by way of this procedure and multiply that times 4,000 globally, that'll let you know how many women have BBLs out here. I have a friend who personally bought and paid for his ex-girlfriend's BBL. The buttocks contains various blood vessels, some connected directly to the heart. I guess that's why part of her heart was missing. When a fat injection strikes one such vessel, fat can travel into the heart and lungs, obstructing blood flow and causing immediate death. Okay, so this gives clarity right here as to why parts of her brain, heart, and lungs were missing. So it wasn't organ harvesting. My apologies. But here's the thing, man. Was this woman not supposed to get a BBL? No, that's not what I'm saying right here. When things like this happen, right? First and foremost, don't get a mommy makeover. Okay, this is way too many procedures in one. This happened to DC Young Fly's wife. If I can find it anywhere, I'm not saying don't get procedures in a different country, but and they said an intense 3-part cosmetic procedure that included a tummy tuck, liposuction, and the BBL. Okay. Now, why would there be a tummy tuck and liposuction? Because they're using the fat. They're using your own fat to put in, you know, in the buttocks, right? And then it's kind of like, well, I don't want to come out of this procedure with the same stomach, right? So it's like we're sculpting the body, taking the fat out, and then we're going to put it back there. And there might be more to a mommy makeover. I have to look it up. But anytime you go under the knife, whether it be something major or small, anything could happen, right? Somebody losing your life can happen. All right, that's the risk you take with anything. You can have knee surgery and you might not wake up from that, right? A lot of people are going to Turkey because it's affordable. And when you go out the country, because your home country might have that procedure that you're looking for, but it's much more expensive. And in this situation, the way her sister was treated and the things they told to her sister, it wouldn't have went down like that in their home country. There's nowhere to hide. You see, the government had to get involved with their government in order to, to try to fix this, for justice to be served, right? If a local company within their hometown said, hey, here's your sister's money, here's your refund, here's a flight back, take care, right? Then, and you have that documented, no, criminal charges will be brought against them. But since they're in another country, that's going to be really tough, right? It's up to their government to do the right thing, to come down on that clinic. And they don't put the name of the clinic out there, which they should have, right? And I'm sure that with her and her sister going over to that clinic in Turkey, I'm pretty sure they did their research. I'm pretty sure they had high reviews and stuff like that. it's not the fact that, I mean, that's sad. My condolences. Not the fact that somebody lost their life in a surgical procedure, because that can happen no matter what the procedure is. It's the way they handled it, right? It's the way they handled it. It's like, hey, here's your money. Be quiet. Bye. That and it's like, that's not even hush money. You're just getting your money back. So I'm not faulting anybody for getting a body procedure done, but what are the people saying? All the surgeries she had were major and she did them all at the same time. I just mentioned it earlier. Just asking for it, even if it wasn't in Turkey, that would have been risky. Plus, there's no recourse. If something goes wrong, you won't be able to sue or get the people involved arrested. See, I'm trying to be sensitive here, but this person said the same thing I said. This sister is even lucky she got her money back. Why wouldn't she get her money back? Can't you just be happy with what God gave you? Unless it's to repair or fix an issue. Stay away from my bad. Stay away from needless medical procedures. I'm really sorry she passed, but I can't believe anyone will go to Turkey for an operation. And this is happening in South America all the time as well. And the comments just go on and on and on. She could have done it the cheap way and stuff. Okay, this is, I didn't mean to read that. So here's the thing. A lot of people commented underneath this, 75 comments. I'm going to say this, ladies out there, be happy with what you were born with. I know you might not reach the size that you probably want, but there are some exercises you can do to enhance that area. But, you can't tell your body, you can't tell where fat should go in your body, right? Another thing, don't get all those procedures at once. Get it one at a time, like one of those procedures per year, right? I don't know the procedures of BBLs. I don't know if you can, like, hey, let me get a lipo and this done, and then save the fat, like store it, and then next year I'll come back, or 8 months later I'll come back and y'all could just give me a BBL. I don't know if you could do that, but don't get all those procedures done at once. All right. And if you're gonna get surgery done, you're gonna have to save up more money and get it done locally, so that when things happen, justice will be served. All right. I can't tell you how many people have either lost their lives in South America. They were Americans that lost their lives in South America, or people that were British or an American that something happened to them in Thailand. And I've done videos on this channel before, reading the articles, and it was a hassle for the families to have to go back and forth and hire lawyers and expect the lawyer to do their job, because some of these places, they're homogenous countries and they look out for the greater good of the group. I wouldn't say the greater good, but they look out for their own. So you over in the UK trying to trump charges in a different country and hire a lawyer that looks like them to go against them, that's a different story, right? That's homogenous countries, that's tough. And I know Turkey isn't, it's kind of a mix in Turkey from what I've heard. I've never been there, but going back to the example of Thailand, man, I've known so many people who tried to hire lawyers to to have justice served, and they weren't getting anywhere. They were just throwing money, right? Because, and my conjecture is, and after, I've lived in Thailand for a number of years. They didn't want to bring up charges against somebody that looked like them, against somebody that doesn't look like them, right? So be careful going to these countries. I'm not even too real for him. I'm not even gonna read that. I'm not even gonna put that on the screen. All right. Uh, and that's for anything. A lot of guys that go over there to get hair transfers. And look, ma'am, you already have two kids. I don't know if they were by one father or two fathers, two different dads, but seemed like somebody liked, your backside enough to, have kids with you. So it wasn't an issue that, you couldn't get a man, right? I guess, you getting the attention, getting that, level of attention, some people they just say, hey, I feel better if I get this done. And I get it, right? But, you know, Europe, they're not known for having big asses. They're not, no, and that's not even an American thing. That's a Southern American thing. In the United States, let me tell you, back before this trend of BBLs, there was only a handful of places in America where women had big asses. And to be honest, like I'm from Texas, the entire state of Texas, women didn't have big asses. One city had the biggest asses in America, and that was Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. I mean that's where big asses come from. All right, the natural big asses. I mean, I've been either living or traveling to Houston since '97. Since 1997, I can tell you as a kid going to Houston for the first time, I'm like, damn, I've never seen ass like this. I didn't see it in San Antonio. I don't know about Dallas at that time, but Houston, right? Louisiana, I didn't, there's women that they got ass, but the asses I saw in Houston, it was the asses you seeing nowadays on Instagram. That was the natural asses in Houston back in the day. It didn't get. I mean, there were white women with big asses in Houston. I know because I've dated a few of them. All right, Atlanta, no. At that time, Atlanta, no. Atlanta, I mean, they had. It wasn't like it wasn't nice, right? But the size that women want today, Houston had that. So that wasn't even like a regional thing. That was like a city. And then, San Antonio, there were women who they swore up and down they had a big ass and it wasn't big, it was just wide, right? Um, there was only one chick at my school that had a huge ass. And I still remember her name to this day. I still remember her name and her face to this day. All right. So man, look, love what you have, love what you were born with, and do research on the procedures that you're getting. Make sure you get it locally in your city so that people can be held accountable the right way if things were to happen. All right. Does anybody else? Okay. I think I should shut the video down now, shut the live stream down. You guys be safe out there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.